Literacy in itself is not education. Next is nationalist sentiments spread. Other thinkers also began thinking of a system of national education which would be radically different from that set up by the British. Tagore Award of Peace, many of you may have heard. Do you know why it was established and by whom? Rabindranath Tagore started the institution in 1901. As a child, Tagore hated going to school. He found it suffocating and oppressive. The school appeared like a person, for he could never do what he felt like doing next. So while other children listened to the teacher, Tagore's mind would wander away. The experience of his school days in Calcutta shaped Tagore's ideas of education. Or growing up, he wanted to set up a school where the child was happy next, where the could be free and creative, whether she was able to explore her own thoughts and desires. Tagore felt that childhood ought to be a time of self learning outside the rigid and restricting discipline of the schooling system set up by the British. Teachers had to be imaginative, understand the child, and the help of the child develop her curiosity. According to Tagore, the existing school killed the natural desire of the child to be creative. Her sense of wonder. Tagore was of the view that creative learning could be encouraged only within a natural environment, so he chose to set up his school 100 kilometers away from Calcutta in a rural setting. He saw it as an abode of peace where living in harmony with nature, children could cultivate their natural creativity. In many sense, Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi thought about education in similar ways. There were, however, differences too. Gandhiji was highly critical of Western civilizations and its worship of machines and technology. Tagore wanted to combine elements of modern Western civilizations with that he saw as the best within Indian tradition. He emphasized the need of teach science and technology and along with art, music, and dance, etc. Next, many individuals and thinkers were thus thinking about the way a national educational system could be fashioned. Some wanted change within the system set up by the British and felt that the system could be extended so as to include wider sections of people. Others urged that alternative systems be created to that people were educated into a culture that was truly national. Who was to define that was truly national? The debate about what this national education ought to be continued till after independence. Next is and the how. Imagine you were witness to debate between Mahatma Gandhi and Macaulay. English education. Write a page on the dialogue you heard. Next, have you ever thought of how children lived that 200 years ago? Nowadays, most girls from middle class families go to school and often study with boys. On growing up, many of them go to college and universities and take up jobs after that. They have to be adults before they are legally married, and according to law, they can marry anyone they like from any caste and community, and widows can remarry too. All women, like all men, can vote and stand for elections, of course. These rights are not actually enjoyed by all. Poor people have little or no access to education, and in many families, women cannot choose their husband. Next, 200 years ago, things were very different. Most children were married off at an early age. Both Hindu and Muslim men could marry more than one wife. In some parts of the country, widows were prejudiced if they choose death by burning themselves on the funeral of their husbands. Women who died in this manner, whether willingly or otherwise, were called sati, meaning various women's rights to property were also restricted. Besides, most women had virtually no access to the education. In many parts of the country, people believed that if a woman was educated, she would become a widow. Next, difference between men and women were not the only ones in society. In most regions, people were divided along line of caste. Brahmans and Kastras considered themselves as upper caste. Others, such as traders and moneylenders, often referred to as Vishwas, and were placed after them. Then come peasants and artisans, such as weavers and potters, to the Sudhars. Sudhar had the lowest rung were those who labored to keep cities and villages clean or worked at jobs that our caste considered pollings, that is, could lead to the loss of caste status. The upper caste also treated many of these groups at the bottom is untouchable. They were not allowed to enter temples, draw water from the wells used by the upper castes, or bath in ponds where upper caste bathed. They were seen as inferior human beings.